Broadcasting live from Urban Ash Cigar Lounge, 601 Main Street here in Daytona Beach, Florida, it's the Hell Wildcats Gridiron Show. Gridiron game. It's game time. Let's flip the switch and do this. A very pleasant good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Hill Wildcats Gridiron Show. I'm here with my co-hosts, Mr. Ralph Smith and Mr. Larry Wesley. Welcome to another week, fellas. We want to apologize for last week. We had some technical difficulties, and hopefully we have that fixed for this week. A little under the weather tonight, but we'll try to make it through. Ralph, how's your week?
Pretty good. I mean, I had a lot to think about from last week's game, but I'm okay. Ready for this one.
Gotcha. Understood. Larry, how about yourself?
About the same. Just glad to get these too many games out the way. If they got to build the schedule, let's put it up front, I guess, so we can get this over with and get into the meat of the season.
Definitely. You guys do anything this week interesting?
Yeah, I cut my yard.
Gotcha.
I got a chance to look at some old football from this past week, particularly looking at some of the other SWAC school replays on YouTube and taking another look at our Wildcats again. Just looking for small minor details of the game. But other than that, that's about it, and looking forward to football season getting into flow.
Definitely looking forward to get into the flow of things. Let's go right to our SWAC week recap. Alcorn State faced Northwestern State. Final score in that game, 20-10, Northwestern State. Any surprises there?
It was a really good game when you looked at it. I mean, Alcorn played a lot better than I thought that they were. Sometimes you listen to the noise coming out the SWAC, and all you really hear is Jackson State. Everything's out of the East, and how weak the West really is. But surprisingly, they didn't look that bad. The Braves looked pretty good.
Definitely, they did look good. So we'll look to see what they do the rest of the season. So then we'll go to Alabama State, and this was last Thursday night. Alabama State plays UAB. Alabama State gives UAB a run for their money. Final score of that game, 52-42.
Well, if you take early bets right now, I think you have to lay money on Andrew Body as being the preseason. My preseason pick for Offensive Player of the Year.
Definitely.
Huge ball game against UAB. A lot of points, 52-42. UAB comes out on top, but boy, what a game that the Body had. I think he had over 400 yards in total offense, running and passing.
Definitely, he did.
He had a heck of a game.
Then our game on Friday night, Bethune-Cookman plays FIU. Final score of that game, FIU 42, Bethune-Cookman 9, and we'll get to that game here shortly. Then Arkansas Pine Bluff plays Texas Tech. We knew how that was going to end. Texas Tech 67, UAPB 7.
Yeah, bloodbath.
Then Hampton faces Jackson State. Final score of that game, Jackson State 28, Hampton 14.
Really interesting ball game. Hampton was in that football game all the way to the fourth quarter. Tied a couple of times in the game. And so Jackson State gets the W, but it was a lot closer than I thought it would be.
When you say you thought it was going to be, you thought Jackson State would score a lot more points?
I thought, again, you're reading all the pundits and the talk coming out of preseason. just like you get at FBS schools, you get it at FCS schools, and nobody blows their whistle louder than Jackson. You know that. You know, they got the largest.
That's
they
why
got-
I asked the
They got the
question.
loudest band. They got everything. You know?
Yeah.
But give Hampton credit. Hampton came in there, and what was surprising was the attendance. It was way down.
Yeah. Because according to Jackson State, they pretty much sell out every game, regardless who they're playing.
Yeah, but then they wanted to blame it on the fact that Hampton didn't travel.
It's got to always be
Right, it's gotta
somebody
be
else.
something, yeah. You know, but the football game itself was a very competitive football game, and Jackson State in the fourth quarter asserted their mettle and won the game by 2 touchdowns, 28-14.
Then another game down in Miami, Howard faces FAMU. Howard comes out of that game, last second field goal to win 10-9.
You know, in this particular game, I wasn't impressed with either one of these teams. I think both teams have the same problem, trying to generate offense. And again, I think both teams are going to have a long season if they're going to make some moves on the offensive side of the ball.
Well, you kept sitting there waiting for something to happen offensively for both teams. Edgerrin James' son, Eden James, they didn't give him the football as much as I thought that they would. And Florida A&M, coming out of the fall camp, they had everything. They had the receivers and they had all of this, but they just couldn't put it together on Saturday. And so it made for a very tough football game to watch.
Definitely a tough game to watch. Alabama A&M versus Arkansas. Final score of that game: Arkansas 52, Alabama A&M 7.
I was really impressed. I wanted to see the organization of Sam Shade and Alabama A&M, and they were playing an SEC school money game, but they looked really organized, good size, good-looking football team. They're going to be a problem for some people in the SWAC, no doubt about it. They'll be much better than they were last year.
Definitely. So we'll see. Alabama and Southern plays Mississippi Valley State. Final score of that game: Southern 34, Mississippi Valley 29.
Very, very exciting football game, I tell you. Very entertaining, and Southern had it right within their grasp to upset Southern.
You mean Mississippi Valley?
I mean, Mississippi Valley had it in their grasp to upset Southern, and played really well throughout the game. You go to Mississippi Valley, they're very spirited anyway out there at Itabena.
Hey, they just glad to see people. They don't get a chance to see very many
Well,
people.
but they were waiting for Southern, and it took.
Yeah, I actually thought they were going to win that game.
I did too.
I had my money on them
I did too.
because I wasn't impressed with Southern against Central.
No, they didn't show us much at all. But give them credit. They avoided the dreaded 0-2 and losing to Mississippi Valley. But it was a really, really wonderful game to watch.
Then Langston plays Grambling. Grambling 55, Langston 7.
No surprises there.
No, not at all. Langston is really, really way down, even in NIA.
Right.
NIA.
And then Prairie View went to Texas Southern. Prairie View 22, Texas Southern 21.
That surprised me a little bit. I thought there would be greater separation on the part of Prairie View, but it is a rivalry game. So, with rivalry games, you can throw all records out the
Pretty
book.
much.
But there was some talk about the two coaches not particularly getting along with each other, having some beef.
Oh, really?
Before the game, yeah. So,
Wow.
yeah.
Interesting.
But good football game, right down to the wire, and Prairie View gets the W.
So that'll wrap up our SWAC week recap. That'll take us right into our Pro First Sports Management week schedule and SWAC schedule and rankings. Grambling will go to Ohio State. That's a 3:30 p.m. kickoff in Columbus. Jackson State will go and play Southern Miss. That's a 5 p.m. kickoff. Then Texas Southern will play Cal. That's a 6 p.m. kickoff. FAMU, Florida Atlantic. That's a 6 p.m. kickoff down in Boca Raton. Our Wildcats will go down to Miami, 7 p.m. kickoff to play the Hurricanes. Mississippi Valley State will go to Tarleton State. That's a 6 p.m. kickoff there in Texas. Alcorn will face Alabama A&M. That's a 6 p.m. kickoff in Huntsville. Alabama State will play Southern. That's a 6 p.m. kickoff there in Baton Rouge. And Arkansas Pine Bluff will play Central Arkansas, 6 p.m. kickoff in Conway, Arkansas. UT Rio Grande Valley will play Prairie View. That's a 6 p.m. kickoff there in Prairie View.
Very interesting slate of football for the SWAC this week. I got a chance to watch Cal Bears play Oregon State in a rewind game, watching the highlights. Cal's pretty doggone good. They lost their quarterback to Indiana last year, but they got a good-looking football team. So that's going to be a real tough road to hoe for
You know the game,
Texas Southern.
the game that I'm really interested in is the Alabama State Southern game, because I think in that game, either Southern's going to be 1-2, or we're going to find out whether or not Alabama State is for real. That's going to be a very interesting.
I don't see Southern, even though it's played on the Bluff in Baton Rouge, I don't see Southern being two
gonna be
touchdowns, anywhere near 2 touchdowns of Alabama State.
It's going to be interesting.
Come on down, see us at Urban Ash Cigars, and come see us here at, we're downstairs in the lodge tonight at Urban Soul Daiquiris. They have great New Orleans dishes here at the restaurant. Come on down. Ralph, you had something earlier.
I had shrimp po' boy.
How was it? I know Larry had that
Yeah,
the other
sure
week.
did.
Good, good.
Mine was delicious the other day.
That will take us into our SWAC FCS computer rankings at number 13, Jackson State at number 56. FAMU, they were previously 36 at 73. Southern comes in. They were previously 65. Prairie View, 75, previously 95. Alabama State, 76. They were previously 68. Alabama A&M comes in at number 81. They were previously 87. Grambling comes in at 94. They were previously 105. Alcorn State comes in at 104. They were previously 78. Texas Southern comes in at 110, previously 98. Arkansas Pine Bluff comes in at 119. They were previously 122. And our Wildcats come in at 124. We were previously 120. And rounding it out is Mississippi Valley at 127. They were previously 125. So there we have it. As far as our rankings, and I know we haven't really delved into it much as of yet. In the East, Jackson State in the conference 0-0, overall 1-0. FAMU comes 0-0, 0-1 overall. Alabama A&M 0-0, 0-1 overall. Our Wildcats 0-0 in conference 0-1 overall. Alabama State 0-0, 0-1 overall. Mississippi Valley rounds out the East 0-0 and 0-1 overall. In the West, Prairie View 1-0 in conference, 1-0 overall. Grambling State 0-0, 1-0 overall. Southern 0-0, 1-1 overall. Arkansas Pine Bluff 0-0, 0-1 overall. And Alcorn State comes at 0-1 in conference. Arkansas Pine Bluff, same thing. So, yeah. Well, guys, we're here.
Getting ready to talk about the good guys.
We're here. Our Wildcats go down to FIU on this past Friday night to play the Panthers. 42-9, that final score. Guys, take us into the game.
You know, for me, going into that game, I kind of actually thought we would play a little bit better than the way we played. However, I was impressed that the offense can move the ball, but we got to score touchdowns when we get in the red zone. Field goals is great. Touchdowns are a lot better. But it is a different offense. It's encouraging. Didn't see much of the defense. I think we had 3 possibly interceptions that we dropped. We got some penalties that wasn't necessary. But, again, we got to get better.
Well, the old adage is that more football teams show improvement between games 1 and 2 than they do at any other point in the year. We'll find out whether that holds true. But as I watched the game, I was really looking to see if we could generate offense, because we spent last week talking about how different the offense would be, and it is different. We moved the football really well. We did not get touchdowns. We should have gotten touchdowns. But again, like anything else, when you're playing these kind of games, any game, there's a fine margin of error. I thought we left 2 touchdowns easily on the field.
Yes.
You know, literally, the first drive should have been a touchdown.
Yes.
But Cam has got to make the throw. He's got to make the pass to the back, and we would have scored right there.
Yeah, he would have walked in. If he'd have
walked
threw,
in.
if he'd have threw that ball, he could have walked in.
But that comes with execution. But again, schematically, you could see it's a little bit different approach.
Yes.
And the fact that we did make a concerted effort to get the football to playmakers.
To the playmakers.
And we have some playmakers.
Definitely.
And we've got to just get, I think, a little bit better play at the quarterback position. Everything centers around that ball coming out when it needs to come out.
As you said, Larry, opening up, 7-play, 62-yard drive by Cam Ransom. Ended up kicking a field goal. We missed some things down the stretch on that drive. We knock it in for 35 yards. And then FIU just drove the ball down the field. The 7-play drive, they went for 67 yards down the field, 4 for 4 passing for Keon Jenkins. They get into the end zone and go up 7-3. 2 plays into the second quarter, they go up again, 14-3 on us, which was one of the longest drives of the game. The running back smashes through the middle, runs in the end zone. That total drive, 89 yards, 15 plays, and it was more than 7 minutes off of the clock. Then come back. Keon Jenkins goes again, pulls his own number, 21-3, up on the Cats. Then we put Timmy in the game. Timmy orchestrates the drive, but we just couldn't put it into the end zone. And then, later on in the game, we go down, still couldn't put it in the end zone. They go up 28-3, then we kick a field goal to make it 28-6. They basically wasted no time to go down the field, and there were some plays that we could stop some things, that one counter play was just total. The whole defense went to the right side, and the running back went unscathed off to the left side.
Well, we had a chance to get a few turnovers too, Darryl.
We did.
We got to make those plays.
You got to make them.
We missed 3 potential interceptions.
Yes.
And those are game changers. Okay, they shut the opponent drive down. They inject life into your team, and you have to make those plays. You cannot miss on those, particularly in a game of this magnitude where there's such a big difference in the talent level. Almost so much talent, but certainly the number of bodies that you have to work with, et cetera. And that's an FBS school. I mean, whether it's a small FBS school or not, they're FBS. And they have that more of that talent than we have.
So, Larry, with that being said, and, I was going to hold off in saying this, but we kind of had a discussion before we came on the air. Is this the same 2014, early 2010s team, FIU team that we saw.
No. This is a Willie Simmons football team. They're going to look a lot like the Willie Simmons we saw at Florida A&M, probably with a little bit better talent.
Yeah.
But schematically, they're going to make you defend the entire field. They're going to be explosive. Now, they'll get theirs this weekend because they're not
Penn State, yeah.
They're going to be the sacrificial lamb up at Happy
Pretty
Valley
much,
at
pretty
State College. You know, that's their money game. But it's a different FIU. There's no doubt about that, and you would expect that. He's going to get better talent at FIU than FIU has had at any time, perhaps in their history. And he's an offensive-minded coach, and it's going to show in that regard.
Definitely will show in that regard. And their program, as we talk about, you can't get away from NIL. And whether you say they might not have that much NIL or what have you, it's still there. It's still relevant. There are playmakers who are going to look to go play and play right away. Yes, they brought in new players, but.
And they let some go, too.
Yeah, you're right.
They let quite a
right.
few go.
Yeah, even our former Wildcat, Eddie Walls.
Walls.
Yeah,
But, I agree with everything you guys are saying. Yeah, that wasn't the same FIU team back in 2014. But then that wasn't the same Bethune-Cookman team in 2014 either. And what I mean by that,
right.
that defense in 2014 at Bethune-Cookman College was attacking. They were attacking. And I just didn't see that last Friday. I didn't see it. So I think if you were going to get Willie, you had to get Willie this year. Because if Willie stay another year, he's going to be able to get his players in there. It's going to be a lot different.
Yeah, he's going to get a better selection of athletes. There's no question about it. But again, they'll be better in their conference than they have been.
Yeah.
But they're going to take their lumps this year, like you would expect, because he just doesn't have that kind of talent in. But I wasn't as concerned about them as I was looking at us. I wanted to see what type of tendencies did we show. Did we show the explosiveness, the potential to be explosive that we had talked about that was on display in preseason? And it's there. But I caution Wildcat Nation. It's there. But we still have got to get more elite play from the quarterback position. That has to happen. Because if it doesn't happen, that guy, the quarterback, has the ball 90% of the time
Pretty
on
much.
offense.
You got to have somebody that can spin it.
He is the initiator of everything. And so the ball has to go where it needs to go on time. And if we miss those plays, it makes everything else bogged down. But schematically, I saw us move that football. We had over 300 yards in total offense.
Yes.
346 to be exact, and they had 456.
Yeah. So we moved the football. It wasn't about that. Now, we still have got the problem that we've had for a number of years. We had the same problem with Terry Sims. When we get inside the 20-yard line, because we're such a spread offense, we can't pound that football inside.
Right.
And so we've got to make some adjustments in that regard. But we're much better.
I agree.
Schematically than we were last year.
I will agree with that.
That was my only concern with those type of teams. If you hit a big explosive play, you need to score.
Yeah.
Because if they stop you,
they get the momentum. Actually,
if they stop you at the 10 or the 20, you're going to have to devise something real creative to get it into the end zone. You're not going to play bully ball with them.
No.
You just don't have that kind of size.
No.
Guys, so as we said, is it everybody should just woosah? These first two games, yes, we wanted to see some things. We which we did see. There's some things that we could have capitalized on against these guys that would have left a better feeling. We left a lot of points on the board. Off the board for the most part. We left a lot on the field. And,
Well, I was impressed by the fact that our kicking game, particularly our place kicking, I think we're going to be a stronger team in that regard when it comes to executing field goals, point afters, etc. And our team plays a lot like that. You know, we relied on field goals last year because we couldn't close drives out. So we don't need to get down there and get nothing. We got to get
We got to get points.
We got to get points every time we go down there. So I felt really good about that. I know that we have talent. I mean, we got skill, talent on the outside at the slot position, even the running backs. But it's going to be hard to see that in these first two games.
Exactly. Yep.
Because we're not evenly paired. But still, if you look beyond just how many yards we got as far as whether we scored a touchdown, we want to score touchdowns. But schematically, are we calling the right kind of plays? Is there some imagination and some creativity? How is the execution matching that? All of that will sort of go into the mix so that by the time we get into the schedule where we're playing like size samples,
right.
then we can determine better what the outcome looks like.
The South Carolina states, the
Everybody
SWAC
who's
schedule.
on our level.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
You can't tell much right now. You can see glimmers and say, hey, just like I told the people on the bus before we left out, hey, what you saw tonight, there were some good things that came out of what we did tonight. We could have scored more points. Yes, we could have. Would we have won that game? No. It's just, technologically, financially not sound. I mean, if you would have done everything you could, the stripes were still going to keep you. They were going to keep you from winning the game.
They aren't going to give you anything.
I mean, like let's go to the and someone said earlier in the chat that whole personal foul against AJ Hall. I mean, the field's wet. It's slippery. The guy goes outside, he slips down, and, you could tell.
He did everything he could to avoid
Yes,
that
he
guy.
did everything he could.
You're not going to get those calls.
No,
you know that.
no.
You know
And
that. You're not going to get those calls.
that's just like the wide receiver down the field. The wide receiver's feet are, his foot's on the line, and the other one goes, out of bounds. And, they review it, and what happens, comes back, and no, it's not a catch. But then you take Javon Ross. And, that's a, toss up whether he caught the ball or not. But what happens? Nope, incomplete.
I mean, one of the worst plays I saw is when the guy targeted the kid on the sideline. That target was.
Yeah.
I mean, you didn't even have to think about that to know that was a target. And until coach insisted that they look at it, they weren't going to even look at it.
No. And he begged a lot for a lot of stuff that just was not going to happen. And as you say, man, it has,
You're going to get the calls and the money.
You're going to leave with one or the other, or you ain't going to leave with as much as you want to, and you ain't going to get the calls either.
Exactly.
So, Marquis Johnson, another highlight.
Listen, I'm telling you, that young man, if we continue to get into football, you can see he has home run potential.
Yes, he does.
He really does. And so it's nice to know you have that, but at the same time, you got to utilize it. and you've got to try to make certain that he gets his touches so he can have an impact on the football game.
Definitely.
But I think, this is my opinion, I think you will get a clearer picture of what kind of football team we got 2 weeks from now.
Oh, you'll definitely get a clear picture.
You'll know where we are. Then you could gauge this year's team on how well that you think they're going to play.
Yeah, I said it on Steven's show, on the Av show the other night, like, don't take anything from the first two games. I've heard talk about, if Jenkins was here and things of that nature. And that's not to take anything away from Coach Jenkins. But if you would have taken, Edward Waters down to FIU,
He got slaughtered.
Yeah.
We and I say we because I'm a Cookman grad as well. And I say this in context. We remind me of some people who've been lost in the desert for 5 years, and we're thirsty.
We have been lost for 5 years.
Right, we're thirsty. We just think because we're playing football, we're supposed to win. We lost a lot in those 5 years, and we still will. No one has really spoken about that. I'm not going to beat that to death tonight, but all I'm saying is that you look for little signs of improvement
Right.
that can show you're on the right course as far as if the offense this year is so much different than last year. We know what the last 2 years look like. If you don't know, go cut on YouTube and look at some repeats. You'll see it. But schematically, again, I think we don't have enough sample size. This is the first game. Now, Saturday, I'm already scared to death about this game because we know what happened when we went to Miami 2 years ago.
Yes.
We literally lost the whole season on that one game.
We did. We lost first and second string quarterback.
And this is a better team.
Way better.
Yeah.
This is a Power 5, top 5 team in the country. And it's the old-looking Miami. They've got some road graders and some real nasty dudes on defense.
Yes, they do.
And so the last time we went down there, they weren't bad, but they weren't like this. And they still put 2 of our quarterbacks out, almost 3. So we got to be very careful in playing this kind of a football game. If we get out of this stuff, get out of this game healthy, and pick up a check that clears the bank, I'm good.
You said it clears the bank.
I'm good. I'm good.
Another thing, just to expound a little bit, Larry, on what you were saying, even before NIL, if you look at the Power Fives and the race that they had to do, Clemson redoes their locker room, FSU redoes their locker room, LSU redoes their locker room. This is before NIL. That's what you do because you got to stay ahead of the recruiting race.
That's right.
One person who cleared the whole thing before NIL even really got started was Jimbo Fisher because he said, I need a standalone facility.
He said it right away.
And they're building it now. It's almost, it's almost done for FSU, but,
If you ever just have time, go on. People need to Google some of these facilities. Clemson's facility with that sliding board in there.
Right.
Like, what in the world? I mean, it's like going to Disney World.
Right.
But that's the nature of the game. And everybody's asking right now after last week, what's wrong with Alabama? Well, guess what? Alabama.
Everybody caught up with it.
You got to stay in the race, and you're going to,
And Nick Saban knew that.
Right.
He knew which way it was going. He didn't have that kind of money, so he got out.
Jerry, regarding Miami, I hope we get one good quarter in and then Lightning forfeits the game. Amen.
Listen, Jerry's thinking like the last time we went down there and played a night game, the game got canceled. We played a quarter and a half, and we tried to wait for Lightning to leave, and it never left. And I hope we picked the check up then. I hope the same thing happens this time and we can get out of there.
Right, definitely.
We need to come out of there healthy. I know that. Not like we came out 2 years ago.
No.
Wow. So let's go to our total stats for past Friday's game. Total yards, Bethune-Cookman 346, FIU 456 yards. Passing yards, Bethune-Cookman 241, FIU 233. Rushing yards, Bethune-Cookman 105, FIU 223. Penalty yards, Bethune-Cookman 8 penalties for 75 yards, FIU 7 penalties for 40 yards.
That might be the season low for FIU in penalty yards. You're not going to tell me if Willie Simmons with that team is going to make that few penalties. I don't believe that.
Right.
They play to the edge anyway.
Right.
And I'm going to look for their penalties this week against Penn State to see exactly
It's going
what
to be a big difference.
And no doubt about it. No doubt about it.
It's going to be a big difference. But I just think that we got to concentrate on being Bethune-Cookman.
But that's it, Ralph. I said, we've got to take care of us.
Yeah, that's what we got to do.
The schedule is made. We got to play the schedule.
We got to play the schedule.
We just got to get out of these first 2 games healthy enough so that we can at least go into the season playing people our size, on an even keel. That's all I want to see.
You know, the one thing that I would like to see Bethune-Cookman do is get a quarterback and just stick with him, and stop change it every week, every quarter. Just get a quarterback, go with him. And we haven't done that in 5 years. We haven't done that in 5 years.
I think it's on the way, though. I believe it's on the way. First downs, you had something, Larry?
I said, it better be on the way. It sure better be on the way.
Bethune-Cookman, 17 first downs, FIU 28. Third down conversions, Bethune-Cookman 5 for 15, FIU 8 for 14. Fourth downs, Bethune-Cookman 0 for 3, FIU 1 for 2. Time of possession, Bethune-Cookman 27 minutes, 59 seconds. FIU 32 minutes, 1 second. So there we have it, guys. That's the tell of the tape. Let's go to our grading. It's time.
Oh, we didn't leave that segment out for this year.
No,
oh,
we
Lord,
gotta-
have mercy.
Here we go, fans. Come on, help us out. Let's go.
Oh, boy, here we go. What are you
Are
thinking
we
about
are we
this?
including boots on the ground?
Headsets?
Yep.
Yeah. Quarterbacks.
I'm gonna get a quarterback a C minus.
Why is that, Ralph?
I think we had opportunities and they didn't execute. We had opportunities to score at least 3 touchdowns, and the only reason we didn't was inadequate execution.
Welcome in, Steven. Glad to have you here, man. Larry?
I will stay with Ralph on the C minus. I don't know, never coached, but coaching is teaching and teaching is coaching. That's how I've always looked at it. And when you look at the play of the quarterback, as we mentioned, Darryl, those opportunities don't present themselves many times in a game. When we had the big play to get down in the red zone, and then Cam missed Rodriguez out of the backfield, that can't happen. You got to make that play because you're not going to get that play again, not against this caliber ball club.
Right.
And so we have to sort of coach that way so that the kids realize you have got to make it count when you have
When
that
you have it.
opportunity. And so there and again, we lost some points that we should have easily had because he would have walked in.
Yes.
So I gotta put that in the grade box because I'm certain they've practiced that play over and over. Walked in.
Yes.
So I gotta put that in the grade box because I'm certain they've practiced that play over and over.
I want to say is not just the play on the field, but you got to convert when you're in the game. You're that general out on the field, and when you don't make it happen, what happens? They sit you down, right, and put somebody else in there to give somebody else a shot. And this year it seems like it's a shorter leash.
Well, it should be because
Right.
he's a senior football player.
Right.
I can have a certain forgiveness if he's a freshman.
Right.
But you're 4 years into this. You can't. miss
Actually,
that.
he's 5 years in.
Right, yeah, literally, you got to make that happen.
And
You
I
gotta make
don't,
that happen.
with you saying the senior part, I don't expect you to pout and not be a team player when you don't.
I mean, how many leaders have you seen walk around pouting?
At quarterback, that's
At
the
that
main.
position,
Yeah.
I mean, because everybody's looking at him
Right.
because he's considered the leader.
And it's clear as day in the stands. You're down by yourself, and the rest of your team's out there fighting.
That's why I made the statement earlier that I just wish we just settle on a quarterback, and we haven't done that in 5 years.
Remember, guys, I'm hoarse talking about the need for a quarterback coach,
Right.
and I've been talking about it for years. When Terry Sims was here, we didn't have one.
We started not having a quarterback coach when Suba took over the offensive coordinator position. Did not have one.
It's just really too much at this level to allow, particularly when you get nothing against Cam, but Cam's body language, his mannerisms, you're the leader. You can't display that kind of indifference toward something happening to you It's about the team.
Right. Right. Let's go running backs, guys.
I'm gonna grade the running backs. I'm gonna give them a B.
Okay.
I think that we have quite a bit of potential at the running back position. I should give them a B plus, but I'm gonna stick with the B.
I was gonna say B, so I'm glad you said B also. But again, this is a small sample size.
Yes.
And I just hope Wildcat Nation will continue to look at that room, because as we get into the season, we'll see more from them, I believe, because I think we're going to have more of a balanced offense.
I think so.
The intent to be able to use the pass to set up the run, or to run when we need to be able to run, to be able to get the yards that we need to get. But we have some people in that room who are very capable, and they're very different types of running backs.
But this is my thing though. Once we get to South Carolina, my grading system changes tremendously. There's a different grading system. It's going to be totally different, because now we're playing against guys our size. So I'm
starting to
expecting.
sound like he's starting to sound like he's been in the classroom. he's sending some warning notices that
Hey, I'm not.
some people are going to be on the DIF list.
Yeah, there you go. There you go, buddy.
Let's go wide receivers.
I'm giving my wide receivers a B plus.
Yeah, I thought they flashed and triggered really, really
I
well.
think so. I think so.
And you could see from the effort that was put out there, if we can get these guys the ball, they can really be very dangerous game changers. And so
Yes,
I was
sir.
very pleased with them. And it's not one or two; it's a room of them that can make some plays for us.
So that's why I'm saying though, this is what I'm suggesting, that all you Wildcat fans out there, you need to come support this team in South Carolina 2 weeks from now. I think you're going to be pleasantly surprised what you see. You need to get out, support this team, and support this university. If we're going to be whatever we're going to be, we're going to show you who we are in South Carolina.
That's so true, Ralph.
That's a tall order.
Yes.
But I hear Brother Smith.
There we go.
Tight ends.
I don't know how you can grade them.
I don't
Other than
think we
blocking.
really featured them a
No.
lot.
No.
Not enough on of a sample size there to know. I do know that they are involved in the offense. Again, you didn't expect. I asked earlier, how do our people watch the game? I didn't expect us to open the whole playbook up, which we didn't. And I don't think it's fair for our Wildcat fans to think that in the first game we're going to open up the playbook and show everything we have and put it on film. I think you keep a little bit.
Well,
in
that's
reserve.
what I said. I mean, because, okay, so this week, are we going to open the playbook up?
No, I hope not.
Okay, what's the difference between this week and last week? You went down the street, right?
I don't even know why you asked that question. I think you're being facetious.
I'm going to show less this week, okay?
Exactly.
I'll show what I showed last week, but I'm not going any further.
I'm
about
saying
that than that.
the kids that played a lot last week, maybe just see the field for a quarter.
That's about it. I mean,
For a
literally.
quarter. Come on. Come on. We are probably facing one of the best Miami teams in the last 10 years.
Miami could play this football game and never have to pass the football.
Nope.
They could just line
Nope.
up that offense. If you watch Miami against Notre Dame the other night, this is a different Miami, and they've got some monsters up front.
Yeah.
So, this is a transaction game, okay? We're going down.
Very
That's all
transactional.
this is, okay?
You said the transaction.
Transaction, right? We're going down there on business, okay? Literally.
We're going to get paid.
That's what I'm talking
Yeah,
about.
we're going to get paid.
And so just keep it vanilla, keep it moving, get out of there healthy, shake hands, and
Get
Daryl,
back on the bus, come back to Daytona.
And Daryl, I hope your statement that you shared with me last week comes to fruition. The fact that Woody and Mario coach together. I hope that that there's some good spirits between the two. Okay,
Yeah,
get out of there and let us get on the bus and take our little check back to Daytona in one
Right.
piece.
That check didn't hurt them. So, yeah, let them.
Not at all. And
Right.
and this game is not going to hurt them in their ranking.
Right.
Okay.
They made their money last week.
Right. Literally. Now, if they had lost to Notre Dame, I
It'd be a
wouldn't want to
problem.
go down there.
It'd be a problem in Miami.
Right. But this is, I mean, you're going to get a big number. I don't know what that number will be, but hopefully they'll call the dogs off, and we'll get in and get out of there.
Yeah, Steven, they came back. They came back after the game. Guys, let's go offensive line.
Okay, so I'm impressed with our offensive line because as I was watching that game, the FIU announcers was talking so big about these two defensive linemen, and as that play was going, our offensive line had them standing up like a Statue of Liberty.
Well, not only that, Ralph.
Our offensive, we got a good offensive line.
I watched them send multiple blitzes.
Yeah.
When Cam hit the big shot to Javon, he had to hold that football a while, and they had a safety blitz on, and we still had time to get that football down the field.
We have an above-average offensive line.
So they showed well, particularly in moments where they flashed.
Yes.
Definitely so. Let's go, and we'll come back. So,
Okay,
overall offense.
What grade did we give the linemen?
I gave my lineman B+.
Okay. I'm going to give them a B. I really like what I saw.
Yeah, I'm very impressed with the offensive line.
So you asked for the overall
offense, and we're including headsets.
I'm going to say a C. That's where I'm at. I'm going to say a C.
Because
you get in the red zone, you should score.
yeah.
That's expectation. You score. And okay, I'm not saying 3 points isn't a score, but that's not why you went down there. You went down there to get 7, not 3.
Right. That's
a totally different game now if they score, because it was there at 5 times. If they score 5 touchdowns, that's a totally different game.
right.
I'm going to give them a C+. I'm sitting here looking at the total yards. The 346 looks impressive to me. It really does. 241 in the air and the 105. That means you're getting something done, both schematically and also with your skilled people and interior linemen. So I'll go C+ with that on offense.
All right. There we have it for offense. We got one line, offense C. Let's move over to the defensive side of the ball. Let's go D-line.
I'm going to give the D line a C-. Almost a D, really, D+. Because that quarterback at FIU, he could have stayed back there for 2 years and just pick any receiver he wants. Was absolutely no pressure on him whatsoever. Now, again, that's not all on the defensive line because you got to have put some kind of schemes in to make that quarterback rush and do things he don't want to do, and we didn't do that. So, but I'm giving them a C-.
Larry?
I said that I would give them a D. I thought as the game wore down, we lost some of our gap integrity there, particularly with some of the runs that they were calling. We didn't hold firm at the point of attack. Now, I'm just grading it for the position. I don't know about the scheme, but from the position standpoint, I think that's a fair grade.
I agree.
Yeah, 9 times out of 10, unless, and this is just about a question online, 9 times out of 10, unless we have a hurricane or something impeding Daytona, the team's going to travel back, not stay down there and, especially with a short trip as it is, 4 hours. Come back. We still got school. We got all that kind of stuff. So yeah, they're not
Because they don't have to be there until Friday, right? Friday morning.
Friday. Yeah, sometime Friday. And we do a walkthrough. Like they're practicing right now. Yeah, on campus.
So they'll leave out of here Friday morning.
Tomorrow
as
morning.
we used to leave at 5. You leave on Friday, and we would stay at Don Schuler's, is where we normally stayed, and we have a walkthrough, and then we go to the game against Miami at
Round 3.
at the stadium, and then we would leave from the game and
You,
head home.
yeah, you usually go, Ralph, 3 or 4. You usually get to the stadium. In years past, it was 2 hours before the game, but with this coaching staff, it's usually 2.5 hours. Time is military-ish. Yeah, so.
Okay.
Yeah.
But we always came back.
Yeah.
After the game
Yeah.
on Saturday.
Yeah. Like I said, the only time we stay off is storms or anything that keeps us. Let's go linebackers.
Okay, so the last 2 games Bethune-Cookman University have played, each team has scored 6 touchdowns on us on the ground. On the ground. So either our linebackers are getting blocked out of the play or they aren't there. So I'm going to give them a C-.
Larry?
I think I would give them a D as well because they were noticeably out of alignment, or the run fits were not there. Once the running back broke past the front wall of defense.
That was it.
There was no feel. There was no feel, and
no
you always
fear-
talk
and-
about
and no
force,
fear.
force and feel, and
Yeah.
so we weren't feeling those run fits very well, and so therefore they continued to gash us.
Yes.
And they outflanked us on a couple of plays where they just got outside the defensive end, and again there was no linebacker. The last touchdown, the guy literally, he just jogged in.
Pretty much.
Because we didn't have any containment on that backside.
They got completely, and it wasn't even a play action.
No, it
wasn't even a play action. They got tricked.
All right, guys. So there's the linebackers. So I kind of chuckled a little bit. My side hurts from that. But Travis Rowland, I don't know what he knows about football, but
He knows a little bit.
A little
He
bit,
knows
just a little bit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he knows.
He says they need to come back. We too spoiled right now as it is.
You got to agree with the old ball coach.
Hey, you got it. Somebody with the same name won a state championship at Daytona Beach,
I heard
Maryland,
that guy.
didn't he?
I heard that guy.
That's what I thought. So
Yeah.
Well, Travis traveled with the Wildcats. He knows how we used to travel, and it's not that much of a deviation. Yeah.
I know we have gotten out of it, and when I say we, I'm talking about in football these days. But some people don't realize, like, you can come back and get off the bus, and what happens? Them lights turn on the practice field. We're gonna correct this right now.
Oh yes. I've seen that.
Or the car lights,
Oh, yeah.
turn on the car
Oh, yeah.
lights, and we're going to get after it here.
I've seen both.
Yeah.
I've seen
Yeah.
both, and and I've seen it at Bethune-Cookman. Okay. So yeah, you're right about that.
Defensive backs.
Now I'm only going to deal with cornerbacks, and to me personally, I think this is where the most potential on the defense is. Because even though that quarterback had all day to pick whatever receiver he wants, we had 3 interceptions that was right in our hands. Our guys stayed with their guys. So I think the cornerbacks, I think we have a lot of potential there, a ton of potential.
Yeah. I thought coverage-wise, as far as the individual, I'm not talking about scheme, I'm talking about their ability to make a break on the
Yes,
ball.
yes.
I'm not saying they finished. They did not finish, but they were there.
They were there.
They were in the proper position to make a play. I'm still concerned a little bit. To be a good tackling team, you got to practice that.
We don't tackle them.
You got to practice that.
Yeah, we're not a good tackling team.
Yeah. And so, in this day and age of football being played in space, and the idea of the run and shoot offenses, and yards after catch will kill you. I mean, literally will kill you.
And that's where they got us at. We just don't. We're just not a good tackling team.
Overall defense, and then we'll go to special teams.
Did you put the safeties in there? With
Ralph said he wasn't going to talk about
Okay,
them. So,
all right.
No, let Larry talk about the
No, I
safeties.
don't.
Let Larry talk about the
They're
safeties.
in the class. They're supposed to get a grade. Okay. I mean,
Yeah, go ahead, Larry.
If you send your grades and you leave them two off, they go come looking for you. Well, what happened to these two? And again, you got to have a presence back there at the safety position. Okay, you got to have a presence back there. I believe. That's your absolute last line of defense. And most importantly, you got to have some people back there who want to do some hitting. Okay, not want to do, but they make hits.
Right.
And I think we're still lacking in that area.
We are.
We don't have any thumpers back there.
Nope.
And that's a real concern to me.
We do not have a thumper at the safety.
I definitely gave them a D-.
Thank you. I didn't want to say it, but D-, maybe F.
Overall defense.
I'm giving the overall defense a D. That's where I'm at.
Guys, you heard me talk about attacking defense last week and what I saw in practice. I didn't see that in the game. I saw very vanilla. I literally, the way we deployed our secondary, I thought we were playing against Dan Marino. Because
They were 10 yards off the ball.
Yeah, I don't get that. I really don't get that. I know Willie likes to throw, but you got to show me first that you can make those plays.
I think.
But we almost look like Southern against Central.
Yeah.
10 yards off the ball.
We gave them so much respect that wasn't earned. They didn't earn that respect.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know how you play 10 or 15 yards off a receiver. I don't understand it, but anyway.
I'm going to grade the overall defense as a D as well. I hope that's just a small sample size for that game. Now, I would probably be more inclined to play the defense we played this Saturday with the quarterback that Miami
exactly.
had.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
better back up with him.
Yeah, with that guy. Beck, he's pretty
You
good.
can get some interceptions off of it, and I know we'll cover that here. You can get some interceptions off of Beck, but like you said, if we didn't get pressure against FIU,
I'm not even talking about the interception. I'm talking about get back so you don't get bombed.
No,
okay?
that's what I'm talking about. Because he threw a lot of balls up Saturday.
Yeah.
They landed.
Yeah,
But
well, we know he got Michael Irvin and Randy Moss that one-handed catch that
Right.
young man made. I was like, that was incredible.
oh my gosh, yes,
That was
indeed.
incredible.
But we'll have to see.
I'm glad that was a highlight against Notre Dame.
Me
But
too. Me too. I wouldn't want to see that against us.
No.
Okay? But again,
between two defenders,
I've got and the safety was already getting ready to run it
He
back.
was.
He had his arms
He
open.
was, yeah.
But we got to see more of the scheme. I couldn't really make out. It confused me because that's not what I saw in practice. I saw an attacking defense, and I saw cornerbacks that were challenging at the line of scrimmage. Now, yeah, we're practicing against us, but we didn't see any of that Saturday. I don't know whether that was in the call of the defensive coordinators or what. But as we move forward, we'll get a better look at that. But that's the overall grade.
that's the overall defense.
Right.
I'm sorry, special teams.
I really like our special teams. I particularly like our kicking game, and I'm going to give them an A-.
No return punts.
No.
No,
No.
good punts.
Yeah, good punt. I mean, we look well organized in that regard, and we delivered. They were trying to block those field goals. They were sending everybody.
Right.
And
And
we
he
got
got
them
'em
up.
off.
We
Yeah.
got them off. Well, Daryl, we saw him in practice when they practiced
Right.
the same thing. Run him on the field at the last moment,
Yeah.
and he was kicking them from 45 yards out.
Trajectory.
The only thing that I feel that we should do a little bit better is kicking the ball in the end zone on kickoff. You kicking it and they catching it on the 10-yard line. I think you got to get it on the goal line or in the end zone.
Well, you got to go get somebody who can get it there first of
Yeah.
all. Okay,
That's
the bottom line.
that's what I would
Yeah.
like to see.
Yeah. Overall team play.
I'm gonna go C minus.
I'm going to go C plus. After watching what I saw the last 2 years, this was a.
I'm gonna go C minus.
I'm going to go C plus. After watching what I saw the last 2 years, this was a market improvement on the offensive side. Again, I keep using that word, small sample size, but I saw enough to let me know that when you play us now, you're going to have to defend the whole football field offensively, because we have the capability of pushing the ball and doing different things that we didn't show we could do the last 2 years. So that's why I'm giving them a C plus.
All right.
You said C plus for overall team?
Yeah, whole team. So there we have it, folks.
I'm gonna stick with my C.
Hey, Ralph, by all means, man, by all means. I'll score that game 42-9. Guys, that'll take us right into our UM scouting report. Our Wildcats, of course, as we have discussed, head south to face the Hurricanes on Saturday, 7 p.m. kickoff down in Hard Rock Stadium. Of course, the odds are Miami with a 99% chance of winning the contest. Let me ask you guys this. Who do they have after us?
Who?
Does anyone know?
Miami?
Yeah,
They got the University of
Florida?
South Florida.
South Florida.
South Florida?
South Florida.
So
then
Florida's got Florida this week.
Right.
And
right.
then next weekend is South
Mi-
Florida.
South
South
Florida got a
Miami.
schedule like ours.
Yeah.
And South Florida is a team you better take note of,
Yeah,
okay?
you have to.
Sleep on them if you want to, including
Or
the
is it-
Gators this
yeah.
weekend.
Yeah.
I don't think there's going to be any sleeping with the Gators in South Florida. The Gators look quite impressive.
Well, they were playing Three Sisters of the Pole.
Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter.
Okay. All right.
I was trying to see, but I think those guys are gone. The twins were there. I won't say they're still there.
Okay.
But the trio, I won't.
For who? South Florida?
No, LIU.
Okay, the young man from
The
Cook-
wide receiver and the
Yeah.
tight end, and
From
then they
the
had
brother, the
yeah,
lineman.
yeah.
from who played at Cookman.
Oh, the two twins.
Yeah.
What's they
They
play in
they
Long
were
Island,
at
right?
that's who Florida played. Yeah.
What I'm saying, Ralph, I don't know how much of that Florida game you saw. I looked at 2 plays, but let me tell you something. We sat here last week. That South Florida team
I saw that game.
was
though.
very impressive.
Yeah, I saw their game.
And I'm not making Boise State University of Florida, but I'm just saying to you that ball game could be very